For every beginning, there is an end. Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Town, and today I have another horror movie review for you. And this will be on once again the Final Destination franchise that I began a few months ago with the first movie. This review will be on the sequel, Final Destination 2. So, Final Destination 2 is an American supernatural horror film, according to Wikipedia, that was released in 2003. The movie was directed by David R. Ellis. From Once again, according to Wikipedia, the screenplay was written by J. Mackay Gruber as well as Eric Bress, and it was according to Wikipedia, the story was based on Gruber, Bress, and Jeffrey Reddick's story. I'm sorry about this. I know it sounds a little bit, how could I say, clumsy at best, but I'm trying my level best to come up with my own words, in order for it to be more better. As far as reviews are concerned, it's always better to use one's own words instead of just reading off something, right? It's much better this way. It's much more pleasant. So basically, yes, this is the second installment in that Final Destination franchise that has a lot of films, right? And this one is going to star a few actors and actresses. Obviously, most of them were really, really talented, but we'll get to them later. So, what is this movie about? So basically, this movie takes place shortly after the events of the first one. It takes place about a year after, following the Flight 180 incident, this whole plane, kind of this whole explosion in midair kind of thing. I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but I have to try my level best to explain the plot at the best of my ability without ruining the experience for you. But if you're watching this review, I assume you've watched the previous film at least, but I'm going to try my level best not to spoil too much this one, right? So basically, in this movie, we have other characters and new characters, a new set of characters, and we have some of the old characters as well, a few at least. So basically, this one is going to focus on a college student named Kimberly Corman, who's going to go with some of her friends to Daytona Beach in Florida for spring break, right? And her friends include Shayna, Dano, as well as Frankie. And basically, as they are heading on that route, U.S. Route 23, she's gonna. I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but she's gonna have some kind of a dream, and let's just say that something pretty scary is gonna happen on that road, right? Something pretty distressing at best. And I don't know if I should spoil it or not, because I have to say that this is such an important part of the film. But at the same time, I don't want to give anything away, so I'm gonna try my level best not to spoil too much. But I have to say that it includes a pile-up scene, and this is where I leave it at that. It's not gonna be so. I'm not gonna focus on what happens exactly and what causes this whole thing, but yeah, a chain reaction accident is gonna ensue, and it's gonna be pretty terrifying, to tell you the truth, and pretty huge, right? As far as the movie is concerned, this is the big opening scene. So shortly after, basically, following this incident, this tragedy, you know, some of the survivors are gonna be gonna starting to die one by one, right? To be, yes, basically, yeah, in pretty graphic ways, some pretty, yeah, terrifying, scary, frightening fashions, yeah, characters are gonna die. So this is pretty much how it goes. And Kimberly, who's gonna be our main character, she's gonna try to, figure this thing out, try and understand what's going on, what could be the reason for that, and her, search for answers is gonna lead her to some people who might have some answers to provide her, right? And some pretty, let's just say that some characters that we might know from the past are going to be, reemerging, so to speak. And I don't want to give too much away, right? I'm trying my level best to keep it as cryptic as possible, as spoiler free as I possibly can. But yeah, there are going to be a few characters that are going to that we are familiar with are going to be part of that. And some of them include, I have to say, Cleo Rivers, as well as another one, and the Mortician, right? And I'll let you find out for yourselves what exactly is going to be their part in this film, right? So yeah, this is pretty much how it goes. And as far as the story is concerned, yeah, this is pretty much like a similar, I guess, similar story to the original, a similar premise with some new, of course, new development, new, how could I say, a different thing, a different twist, and I'll let you find out for yourselves what it is. I'm not going to tell you what, but yeah, pretty much very similar to the original. But yeah, Final Destination 2. What did I think about it? What are my thoughts and views? I'm kind of sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place. I have to say that Final Destination 2 is a good film, but it might be my least favorite. I did enjoy it for what it was. The characters, the actors did it pretty well, but it wasn't as big as the original. I have to say it's very similar to the original, but at the same time, yeah, the characters are, some of them are really cool. Some of them are, you don't feel as strongly as you did for the other characters in the previous film. Yeah, the kills are pretty graphic and gruesome, but yeah, I have to say that yeah, the original ones were a little bit better, in my opinion. But there are some pretty scary ones here too. To be honest with you, there's a fire escape one with a ladder. There's a scene at the dentist, which was pretty good, pretty scary, and yeah, another scene with was that an SUV, I believe, or something like that. There's a scene in the river, or lake or something near the end, and there's a big, the nice near the end a hospital scene, which I thought was pretty good for what it was. The last scene is going to include a barbecue party, so to speak, and it was pretty good too. But yeah, this movie was good, but it had less anticipation for me as far as I'm concerned. Maybe it's the fact that we already kind of know what we know a little bit more about what we're getting ourselves into. So it's still interesting to see the progression, the development, but not as, let's say, it's a little less anticlimactic, if that's the right term, than the original. It was still, sorry about this, I'm moving around a little bit, I apologize. It was good for what it was, but with some, I don't know if it's just me, a little less anticipation and a little maybe not as, as engaging as the original to a certain extent. And I apologize, many people are going to be like, what the heck are you talking about? Final Destination 2 is an awesome film. I know that Grayson really loved it. I believe it's one of his favorites, and I totally respect that. I'll say the following, though. The pilot scene at the beginning was definitely one for the books, one to remember, because it was so good, especially with the way that it is shot. It is terrifying, it is scary, it is well orchestrated, the whole scenes with the cars, and it's so wonderfully executed. But yeah, some of the after this, it was still good, but yeah, I had fun watching this movie, I have to say. I enjoyed it for what it was, but not as much as I did the original. This is what I would like to say. And sorry again if that seems a little bit, pretentious or something of me, but this is how I felt. But let's move on to the actors, shall we? All right, we have Ellie Lauder, who plays Clear Rivers. Once again, she comes back, and she was pretty good. She's a pretty good actress. And in this movie, I believe that she has blonde hair. In the previous one, she had brown hair, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, dark, which is the term auburn hair, something like that. In this movie, she's blonde. So it was good. She was good in this movie, but not as good as the previous one. She was a little bit irritating at some point, to tell you the truth. A little bit arrogant, but yeah, she was okay for what it was, right? Then we have A.J. Cook, who plays Kimberly Corman, and I should check the pictures to make sure that I know who we're talking about. Yeah, A.J. Cook, who plays Kimberly Corman, and she was pretty good too, I have to say. I did like her as a main character, but not as much as I did Alex Browning. He was better, in my opinion. But she was good for what it was. She held her weight. She was okay. She did well. But yeah, I prefer definitely Alex Browning as a main protagonist. Then we have Michael Landis, who plays Thomas Burke, who is a cop, if I'm not mistaken, who was pretty good, pretty awesome, and I did enjoy his performance. Then we have Tony Todd, who comes back to play William Bloodworth, who is the mortician, who is a little bit kind of the mysterious guy who kind of, tells the characters about, certain things when they have questions. So he's pretty creepy, and I think that he's good in this. As the character, he plays pretty well. Then we have Keegan Connor, who plays Kat Jennings, who's pretty good too. She's an actress who was in a few. She guest starred in a few TV shows, such as Supernatural. She was in a few episodes, if I'm not mistaken. She's good. She's a good actress. Then we have Sarah Carter, who plays Shayna Gordon. We don't see much of her in this film, but she was at the beginning. She's pretty good as well. She was in Smallville. She gets started in a few other works. She's pretty good. She was pretty good. A lot of the actors are Canadians, and this is probably due to the fact that Final Destination is shot in Canada on location. If most of you didn't know, yes, the big road scene at the beginning, it's shot in Canada. I believe the films are shot in Canada, and it's cheaper there, and it also provides an awesome ways to awesome places because the landscape is beautiful and all of that. So yeah, many movies are shot in Canada, but I think that it really doesn't take away anything from the movie, even though it's supposed to take place in the United States. But the places, the way it is shot, is just awesome. So whether it's shot in Canada or in the U.S., it's awesome, and I have to say that in Canada there are even more beautiful places. So that's a good thing, right? Then we have Noel Fisher, who plays Brian Gibbons, who's one of the younger characters, and something is going to happen to him, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't he the kid of the dentist at some point? Yeah, he's pretty good. He gets started in Cold Case. He gets started in Medium, other TV shows, on other works as well. He's a pretty good actor. Then we have Linda Boyd, who plays Nora Carpenter, who is she also starred in other works, in other movies. She gets started in Cold Case too, in Smallville. She's a pretty good actress, I have to say. I really liked what she did in most of the movies. She's pretty good. She's a good actress, and yeah, it was nice seeing her there too. Then we have James Kirk as Tim Carpenter, David Pate Cow, who plays Evan Lewis, who's pretty good, who was he gets started in other things as well. He gets started in Smallville. He gets started in other TV shows. He was in I Always Know What You Did Last Summer, the 2006 film. He was pretty good too. Then we have Keegan Connor Tracy as Kat Jennings, but I believe that I already mentioned her. I apologize. We have Jonathan Cherry as Roy Peters. I'm sorry, I don't recall exactly who he played, and I can't see the picture, so I apologize. T.C. Corson plays Eugene Dix, who is the African American character, who is pretty funny. Oh, I think I remember Rory Peters. Wasn't he the kind of the guy who used to take drugs, being high all the time or something like that? He was, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, he was pretty bad as a character, but you kind of he grows on you. Then we have another actress who was pretty good, Justina Machado, who plays Isabella Hudson, who's pregnant in this in the film, and she's pretty funny. She has this whole Hispanic kind of funny character feel to her, so it was pretty good. We have other actors, Sean Sippos as Frankie, Andrew Airlie as Michael Corman. Yeah, Andrew Airlie, he was a pretty good actor. Yeah, he guest starred on Smallville, it says here. If I'm not mistaken, he guest starred on, yeah, the X-Files. I'm seeing here he guest starred in so many other things, but I don't recall exactly. On Supernatural as well. Yeah, that's him. Andrew Airlie was also pretty awesome in this film. He's one of the fathers of the kids, right? Noel Fisher, I already mentioned him. Benita Hay as Jean, Aaron Douglas, Deputy Stephen Adams, Eric Kin, Lee Side as Detective Subai, Alfred E. Humphreys as Mr. Gibbons, right? So all of the actors were pretty good, but my favorite ones are Ellie Lauder, A.J. Cook, Michael Landis, David Patecow, Linda Boyd, and Noel Fisher, and yeah, probably Jonathan Cherry as Rory Peters. Yeah, Rory Peters was a funny character too. He was the one. I'm pretty sure he was the one who was he was a jerk at first, but he grows on you, as I said. But yeah, all the actors were pretty good. All the characters are pretty interesting for who they are. But yeah, if I were to review this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a solid, possibly 7 out of 10. It was good for what it was. Like I said, not as good as the previous film, but still pretty good. As far as the story is concerned, it's engaging, it's interesting, and I really enjoyed how it all, comes together near the end in a nice bow, for lack of better terms. It's interesting for what it was. It's good. It keeps you at the edge of your seats up until the very end. Like I said, I apologize. Not my favorite, maybe as far as the franchise is concerned. I preferred the previous one, but this one was pretty good for what it was. It offers good. It has some pretty interesting scenes, some pretty scary kills, some pretty terrifying occurrences, right? But yeah, it's a good movie for what it was. So 7 out of 10 for me for Final Destination 2. And yeah, it's really, really good. And I really enjoyed how it all goes to get together, how it all makes sense, and how it all kind of grows as the story is as far as the story is concerned. Like I said, some of the kills are really terrifying, especially one on an old on the countryside at some point. Also, I didn't mention that, but there are some pretty scary, horrifying scenes. But my favorite one is definitely the pile-up scene at the beginning. It was really, really good, and seeing everything, from there, taking place from there on, how the story grows. And there's the humor with the character of Isabella, as I mentioned, and it's interesting for what it was. It's a good, fun experience to be had watching a horror movie. So it's 7 out of 10 for me for Final Destination 2. What about you, folks? What did you think about Final Destination 2? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Really love to hear about your thoughts and views on this film. And let me know about your favorite movie and the franchise as well. And which one did you prefer? Which one did you not like so much? What did you think about this one in particular? Have I forgotten anything relevant that you would like to let me know in the comment section down below? If it is the case, please feel free to let me know about anything, as long as it's respectful. Any thoughts, any views you would like to mention, you would like to, let me in on, feel free to do so. In the meantime, folks, thank you for watching. This was the review for Final Destination 2. Hope you liked it. And God willing, I intend on doing Final Destination 3 soon. And it will be for the 20th year anniversary, since the movie was released in 2006, 20 years ago. It is going to be a fun experience. So in the meantime, folks, thank you. Stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. This is Whore Town signing off.